Hello, I'm AJ Perez, Dispatch Supervisor for Victoria Electric Cooperative. Thank you for joining us today as we are excited to be celebrating our 85th anniversary and our commitment to exceeding our members' expectations of providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. Your attendance is appreciated, and we hope that you enjoy what has been prepared for you today. Let's get started. First, I would like to introduce Ms. Tammy Boyd, Secretary and Treasurer, who will now present the financial statement and the operating report for 2022.
Good afternoon. My name is Tammy Boyd, and I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of Victoria Electric Cooperative. I am proud to present the 2022 Treasurer's Report. Statement of Operations. VEC maintained another financially strong year in 2022. Despite the continued inflationary pressures and supply chain constraints, management and staff continued to be good stewards of our cooperative. Walking through an overview of the Statement of Operations, operative revenue, which includes Infinium broadband revenue, increased $10 million, while cost of power increased $9.2 million. Departmental expenses, along with depreciation, property taxes, and interest expense, increased by $231,000 and $253,000, respectively. While we did see an increase in expenses, we came in under budget for the year in these areas. These changes resulted in an increase in operating margins of $353,000 from 2021. We will take a deeper dive into accounts that contributed to the operating margins in the following slides. Non-operating margins decreased by $1.4 million, which is attributed to the Paycheck Protection Program loan forgiveness received during 2021. Capital credit allocations of $977,000 were assigned to VEC from South Texas Electric Cooperative and associated vendors. As a result, overall margins decreased by $140,000. Operating revenues. For the year ended 2022, VEC saw an increase in operating revenues of approximately $10 million. These revenues were generated from the rate increase that went into effect June of 2022, along with the power cost adjustment that was charged as a direct result of the increase in power cost. Meter count and kilowatt-hour sales also increased across all rate classes. Additionally, we saw continued growth with our broadband division, Infinium, reaching $2 million in revenues for 2022. Power cost as a percentage of revenue. Along with the increase in revenue, power cost rose by $9.2 million in 2022. As shown on the current slide, power cost as a percentage of electric revenue increased from 72.7% to 76.6% in 2022. That means that 76% of every dollar from electric sales went directly towards the cost of power. The rise in power costs is the primary reason we continue to promote the Beat the Peak campaign from June through September. Every kilowatt hour reduced during peak times has a direct impact on power cost throughout the year. Expenses excluding power cost. VEC effectively managed costs throughout the year as controllable expenses, along with fixed expenses such as depreciation and property taxes, only increased by $485,000, just over 5.5%. One way that VEC tracks expenses is by calculating operating and maintenance expense per meter. In 2022, we operated at $231 per meter, which was well below the state median of $271 per meter. Wage adjustments and associated payroll taxes, benefit expenses contributed to the increase in expenses. Other attributing factors were credit card processing fees, development of new construction work plan, and maintenance of our right-of-way. Infinium incurred costs related to growth in subscriber counts and contractor expenses for fiber construction and maintenance, routine additions and upgrades to our distribution plant, and general asset purchases in 2022, along with continued build-out of fiber in Phase 1, led to the increase in depreciation expense. Long-term debt and total margins and equities. In 2022, VEC's equity ratio remained resilient at 55%. This ratio represents the members' investment in the cooperative. As no new long-term debt was added to our portfolio during 2022, debt decreased by $688,000 by year-end. VEC's blended interest rate on long-term debt was 3.23%, which is lower than the state and U.S. cooperative medians of 3.79% and 3.42% respectively. Capital credit retirements. I am pleased to report that VEC has retired cumulative capital credits in excess of $13 million over the past 14 years. In 2022, VEC returned $500,000 in capital credits back to our membership, which retiring remaining patronage through 1994 and parts of 1995. Infinium subscribers. As of December 31st, Infinium had 2,102 customers utilizing its internet service. We are continuing to add subscribers every day, and as of June of this year, we have grown to 2,397 subscribers. We remain actively engaged with the Texas Broadband Office and political leaders to obtain funding to extend our fiber infrastructure to all the communities that we serve. Our General Manager will be speaking more on this topic later in the meeting. This concludes the 2022 Treasurer's Report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. Next, Mr. Trey Rushop, President, will present the President's Report.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trey Rushop. As your Board President, I'd like to welcome you to the 85th Victoria Electric Cooperative Annual Meeting. It's a pleasure to see each of you here this afternoon. I would also like to thank you for your attendance today. The annual meeting gives us the opportunity to bring members together to learn more about how your cooperative is working to serve its current and future needs, and provides the board an opportunity to interact on a personal level with the membership. I'm thankful for our employees. It hasn't been easy dealing with this year's damaging spring lightning storms, last year's pole fires, and supply chain issues that have created significant operational and financial challenges. Our team has been up to the challenge, and I thank all of our employees for their hard work and dedication. I thank the board for their leadership and dedicated service to the cooperative. They are committed to working with the cooperative's management to set policy and make decisions in the best interest of the cooperative and its members. I will now introduce them to you. Representing District 3, Board Vice President Bodie Hausman. District 6, Board Secretary Treasurer Tammy Boyd. At large, Board Assistant Secretary Treasurer John Beck. District 2, Todd Adams. District 4, Raymond Brandel. District 5, Michael Maraja. District 8, Jimmy Hayes. And I represent District 1 as Victoria Electric celebrates 85 years of service to our members. We continue to strive to offer reliable electric service at the lowest possible cost, while remaining financially strong. While few, if any of us were around 85 years ago, to put things in perspective, a new house costs $3,900. A new car could be purchased for $860. And a gallon of gas costs 10 cents, with the average electric bill being $3.41. My, have things changed. Our board and staff stay active in legislative affairs, monitoring legislation and regulations that impact electric cooperatives and the electric market, as well as the broadband initiative across the state. Together with Texas Electric Cooperatives and South Texas Electric Cooperative, we provide constructive input to our state legislators during the 88th legislative session and to ERCOT concerning market reform issues, grid stability, and the rising cost of transmission rates in the aftermath of Winter Storm Uri. We continue to grow, and so does our commitment to provide affordable and reliable electric and broadband service to our membership. The cooperative is financially strong and well positioned to meet the needs of our members. Over the past year, we have seen unprecedented disruptions in the supply chain for critical electrical and broadband equipment. Backlogs exist across the board with transformers, meters, conductors, utility poles, fiber, service vehicles, and equipment parts, essentially all the things needed to keep our system running efficiently. VEC's cost to provide service has increased as a result, which is why in June of last year we implemented our first rate increase in 12 years. Purchasing materials to construct and maintain our infrastructure, repair our service vehicles, and to run our daily operation is being met with much higher price tags and significantly longer lead times than have ever been experienced. We work closely with our wholesale power supplier, South Texas Electric Cooperative, to manage generation resources and ensure that we obtain the best possible power costs for our members. In 2022, wholesale power costs were greater than expected, primarily due to the increase in the market price of natural gas used for generation. This in turn increased our cost per kilowatt hour to you, which you felt through the implementation of the power cost recovery factor on your billing statement. While power costs have softened and we have been able to remove this recovery charge from your bill, I want to assure you that VEC makes no margins on the cost of power, which now accounts for nearly 80% of your bill. Our dedicated board of directors and employees work hard to provide for the needs of the cooperative and will continue to improve all aspects of our business, from the safety of our employees and members to electric and broadband reliability, member service technology, expansion of broadband service, and financial performance. Later in the program, our general manager will share more information on these and other projects the board and staff are working on here at your co-op. Again, we appreciate your attendance and support and welcome you to our annual meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Rushop. Mr. Blaine Warseca, General Manager, will now present the manager's report.
Thank you for your attendance today and welcome to your 85th annual meeting. It is truly a pleasure having everyone here today. I can't believe it's already been a year since our last annual meeting. As we moved into the third year of the COVID pandemic, 2022 added new challenges to an already complex and quickly changing electric industry. My report today will focus on several of these challenges that we have faced over the year and how some of the outstanding employees have stepped up to address those challenges. I will touch on some key initiatives that we are also working on to improve our service to our membership. Just as you are at home, VEC continues to deal with the effects of inflation and supply chain issues. Our cost to provide service has increased as a result. Backlogs exist across the board with transformers, meters, conductors, utility poles, service vehicles, and equipment parts, essentially all things needed to keep our system running efficiently. These disruptions, combined with substantial price increases, have presented significant operating issues. For example, the average cost of an underground transformer pre-pandemic in 2019 was $1,300, while today we are paying $2,100, an increase of 66%, while the more commonly used pole-top transformers have increased 82% to an average cost of $1,400. Costs were not the only thing that increased, as lead times on nearly all items from transformers to poles went from a matter of weeks to years. Senior Warehouse Coordinator Amy O'Neill and her team did a tremendous job managing the complexities of dealing with various vendors and manufacturers to make certain that we were able to continue to ensure service was not jeopardized and new construction delays were minimal. Meters are a similar story, but a different ending. Since 2020, we have struggled to receive new meters, and we're finally able to receive our first order of 1,000 meters recently. However, during those couple of years, our metering department looked at numerous options, from purchasing rebuilt meters, pulling out of service meters, and sending off damaged meters to be rebuilt by third parties, but the lead times were unacceptable. Rather than give up, metering technician Jason McAdams worked diligently for a solution, and through trial and error found a way to rebuild the meters internally. Through March of 2023, the metering department had rebuilt over 2,100 meters, saving VEC nearly $500,000. Provide affordable power for our membership. However, in 2022, the cost of power from our wholesale power provider increased from 6.8 cents to 7.8 cents, representing an increase solely in the cost of power of 15%. The increase was primarily driven by the market price of natural gas used for power generation. This increased cost was passed through to you through our power cost recovery factor. VEC does not add any markup to the power cost. The good news is that due to the recent natural gas prices softening, we have been able to remove the power cost recovery factor from your current electric bill. But currently the cost of power does make up 77% of your electric bill. Due to the impact of power cost as directly to each member, it is critical that we work closely with our wholesale power provider, South Texas Electric Cooperative, to manage generation resources and ensure that we obtain the best possible savings for our members. During 2022, our kilowatt-hour sales totaled 621 million, representing an increase of 5% over 2021. This sales milestone helped us to overcome some of the price increases in materials and increased operating and maintenance costs. We continue to grow in spite of the inflationary pressures, and so does the need to maintain and expand our distribution facilities throughout our service territory. Our construction work plan projects include a wide variety of items such as new service line extensions, distribution line installations, voltage conversions, service capacity increases, pole replacements, and wire replacements. The need continues for VEC to maintain our system, which is why the Board of Directors approved a $19 million construction work plan for the 2024 and 2025 year. We also continue to focus on distribution line maintenance programs. Our pole testing and replacement program helps to improve the safety and reliability of our system. Last year, we completed the replacement of 635 poles from our previous pole inspection program, and we are already initiated inspections on another 8,000 poles. Our right-of-way program, managed by Omar Perez, cleared over 510 miles of right-of-way last year, removing 7,700 trees and trimming another 6,500. This helped limit the number of service interruptions and ensures repair crews can access right-of-way areas to make necessary repairs to aid in our outage restoration. During the spring, we dealt with thunderstorms that caused numerous outages. The lightning and pole fires associated with these storms caused extensive damage to our equipment, and the wet conditions have made it difficult to get to hard-to-reach pole locations. We desperately needed the rain, but we could have used a little less lightning. We would like to thank our members for their patience while we safely restored service. I'm so very proud of our employees. They are always there to answer the call, day or night, and no matter what, they do it safely. We finished 2022 with no lost time accidents, achieving the milestone of 8 years, working 1.2 million hours without a lost time accident. We are committed to providing safe and reliable service. We continue to inspect and maintain our equipment and complete preventative maintenance work on regular cycles. Our emphasis on safety and security remains high and at the forefront of everything we do. For the last 2 years, cooperatives in South Texas have come together to compete in the Coastal Bend Lineman Rodeo to showcase their talents. It's a friendly competition for bragging rights, and for the past 2 years, we have sent apprentice linemen to compete. This year, one of our newest apprentices, Tanner Jones, won the speed climbing. We also had linemen compete in the statewide Texas Lineman's Rodeo in Seguin. Our senior team, made up of Ricky Varela, Zeke Ibarra, and John Gonzalez, took 3rd place for the all-around team. We competed again just recently, and while we did not bring home any trophies, our linemen represented VEC very well. Training events like these allow linemen to continue to master their skills and trade and draw attention to this vital occupation. And last but certainly not least, our Infinium broadband continues to add members as we have exceeded 2,400 subscribers and $2 million in revenue. We are confident in our revised internet packages and our reliability is excellent. Our team of dedicated employees have taken great pride in our network and have worked to resolve reliability issues that we experienced early on the wireless side. And we are pleased to have Billy Wise join our team as a broadband manager. Billy brings a wealth of knowledge and experience that is already making a tremendous impact. While we have delayed the continued rollout of Phase 2 and 3 with hopes of obtaining federal and state funding, it is very unlikely that we will be eligible based upon the existing decisions by the FCC and other agencies allowing unproven wireless services to continue to receive funding, which will never be reliable broadband services for our rural members. With that said, the board has authorized Infinium to budget for the initiation of construction of Phase 2 in 2024. We're excited about this decision and will continue to look for grant funds as they become available, but our members in the future phases have waited patiently and it's time we bring Infinium to them. We will provide more timely updates in the Texas Co-op Power magazine and via marketing and social media. In closing, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to our Board of Directors and our employees for their hard work and dedication on all the projects and challenges that we have undertaken this past year. Most of all, I want to thank you, our members, for the opportunity to serve you.